Hi, Stephen. Good morning. How are you, my friend?
Good evening, Peter. I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. Been a busy week, and looking forward to the weekend. As while we were recording this episode, it's actually on a Friday evening, so it's looking forward to a nice weekend. Got a few things planned. So, and for you, it's Saturday morning, my friend.
Saturday morning, so great start to the weekend. Get this recording um out of the way, and just share a few little things with anyone who's watching or listening.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the idea of this particular episode is just to give you a little bit of sorry, to Stephen and I. So what we said we'd do is we've called it 21 questions,
You
and there's a
go.
clue there somewhere. So I think it's over to you, Stephen, to ask me a few questions, I believe.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Peter, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go, mate. So, why the bull?
The bull, well, it's synonymous with Spain, and that's where I'm actually living. I'm living just south of Valencia on the east coast of Spain.
Lovely. You're not Spanish though. Where are you from?
No, that's I've always had a love for this area of Spain and sort of Spanish living and just sort of real integration into the Spanish lifestyle. All my family roots would actually be from Ireland and the UK. My
Lovely.
mother's Irish and my father's English with a little bit of Irish blood. So there's about three quarters of me is Irish and the rest is English. But how it all mixes up, I'm not quite sure. But that's why I'm here.
That's how it is. So why are you in Spain?
Well, what basically happened was I bought myself a house here a number of years ago, and I'd always had the dream to come here. And back in 2016,
Mhm.
I was forced to take a redundancy I wasn't really ready to take, but I had to take it. And all of my buddies and people around me were saying, "Look, you've got the house in Spain. You've always wanted to go live there. Go give it a lash." And what's the worst thing that happen is that it doesn't work out for you. You can come back to Ireland or come back to the UK and get another job. So I'm
Lovely.
here still, 7 years going. Yeah, nearly 8 years this year. Actually, it's gone
Well,
pretty quickly, I have to say.
you've just sped into the next question. How long have you been in
Oh, I'm really
Spain?
sorry,
So
man.
that's so we've got that one out of the way. 7 years or
I've
so,
ruined
you
that
say?
one for you.
Yeah, best scripted laid plans, eh?
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right. So, how long have you been trading?
I first got into trading. It's just over 20 years ago now, actually. But I was in yeah, it's about 20 years ago is when I first got into trading.
Okay. And what was the reason you started trading?
The reason was I was looking for other ways to develop an income, and I'd always had a fascination for the markets, and that's what I did. That was my reason.
Okay. What were you looking for?
Yeah, I was looking for another form of income to try and
Okay.
generate maybe like a passive income, or to
Okay.
do it as a full-time job maybe at one point.
And what did you know about trading in the beginning?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
Absolutely nothing. And I think
it's
that's probably
like
a
that for a
fairly
lot of
common
people.
point.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what mistakes did you make that maybe others could avoid?
Ooh, okay. I think we might need a show on its own for that. I mean, if we're being really honest, the number of mistakes we've all made. I suppose the mistake I made first off was not doing enough research before giving somebody over quite a large sum of money to trade for me.
Okay, all right.
That would be probably my first biggest mistake.
Okay, what, if anything, would you have done differently?
What I would have done differently in the early stages would have been to have taken profits. So, in other words, when I'd actually start to build the account up, was to start taking some profits and recouping some money. that was the biggest mistake I made by using the broker. Instead, I was thinking, right, okay, keep piling, just keep the profits going, keep the profits going, rather than being sensible and then withdrawing a little bit of money. I suppose a little bit of greed was kicking in.
Okay. How do you fit trading around your work and your job?
Well, first off, I was really bad at that, because I thought that I had to get to a point where, and I was allowing trading to dominate things, and then I realized that I needed to actually fit the trading around my lifestyle. And I find now that for me, trading at the end of each day, so I do about half an hour in the evenings from Sunday through till Thursday night, and then take a quick look on a Friday evening. That would be my trading
Okay.
routine now.
Okay. And how important is it that you've got a routine?
Oh, absolutely. It's number one reason. It's just so important, because I've learned if you don't have that routine and you're not consistent and persistent with the things, is you're going to make mistakes and you're not going to learn, and you're going to miss trades, and then you might, it's just you've got to have a routine. It's so
Okay.
important.
What keeps you turning up?
Keeps me turning up is I make myself accountable. For the viewers, people won't realize that you and I have been in touch for like over 4 years now, and we make ourselves accountable each week. So that keeps me turning up. That's one reason. And because, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. And now I've made it something I only need to do half an hour a day. It's not a task anymore. It's something that I kind of look forward to.
Okay. Where are you in your trading journey now?
I've been on a roller coaster. Now I'm back in the point of I had a bit of a tough year last year. I'm into the position of getting back into the trading, and I think I'm going to be covering the relaunch of my journey as my part of the podcast.
Yeah, good. How important are the things around trading? For example, the psychology and the having of the routines.
Yeah, really important. And it wasn't until I did a course, and a course you and I did together, that I really understood the psychological side of trading, and
Okay.
it is just so important.
Do you see an end game for your trading?
Yeah, I mean, I'd always thought I wanted to go trading full time, and I wanted it to be my sole income, but I'm actually still enjoying work. So what my end game is to keep it as something that I do, just as a part-time thing. And then later on, when I kind of reach that retirement age, I want it to be something that keeps me stimulated, and that I can do long into old age.
Okay,
Touch
sounds good.
wood.
So, okay, which sort of leads into the next one a bit. Do you plan to transition to trading only and stop working?
I think not in the near future. Long term, yeah. I think I'd like to sort of get to a point where either I just don't want to work anymore, or I
Yeah,
don't feel I need to work.
yeah.
But there's no, before there was a real rush, but now I've got a lot more inner calmness. And so I'll just take that as it comes and just review it.
Okay. If you could give people starting out as a trader some advice, what would it be?
I would say get yourself educated, almost like go back to school, get your qualifications. I mean, you wouldn't see, any profession. You have to learn what you're doing. You can't just go in and suddenly be an accountant, or a lawyer, or a doctor, or flying aeroplanes. You've got to learn your skills. So that would be my advice to people. Take some time to actually learn and understand before you even put any money in the market.
Okay. And how is your trading going now?
Yeah, my trading, I'm at the minute, because I've been away for a long time, is I'm actually restarting from the bottom and building my way up again. I'm going to be covering that with all of the viewers over the next weeks and months. Is I'm Because I've been away from it for so long, I'm starting off with the demo trading, and then I'm gradually going to build myself up, and then before I start trading the markets again. So in other words, get that routine back and get that rhythm back and get that confidence back, that it becomes, second nature to trade again.
Okay, and what are you working on now in your
Well, what I'm
trading?
working on at the minute is I've done some work and on a strategy that I'm feeling comfortable with. And I think that was important to me, to find a strategy that was comfortable. And I found a strategy, and I'll be covering that with all of the viewers over the coming weeks and months.
All right, well, that concludes your 21 questions, Peter. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
taking part.
I thank you, sir.
Here we go.
Okay, my friend, here
I'm
we
ready.
go. Why the kangaroo?
Well, I'm in Australia. There you go. The kangaroo.
But you're not Australian. So
No,
where are you originally from?
I'm from Liverpool in England,
Hmm.
but I've spent 20 more years working in central London and living just
Hmm.
outside of London on the northern side
Hmm.
in the county of Hertfordshire.
I know it well. I know it well. A good spot. And you've so how, why, what brought you to Australia?
So my wife's family are here. She lived here when
Hmm.
she was younger and growing up, and
Hmm.
it's just that time in our life when, she wants to be close to her side of the family, and we decided to move, um, our whole family over here to
Hmm.
do a bit of that and be with them. So yeah, that's why. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a nice place,
Yeah, and I think knowing you as well, is I've watched you go through that process of settling down, and I think, as a family you've become very settled, and it's been lovely to watch that the way you've moved, and how it's all transitioned for you. So how
Yeah.
long have you actually been in Australia now?
Since November 2019, yeah, we managed to get here, and then we got locked down. So we weren't going to
Yeah,
be going anywhere anyway because of the Australian government wouldn't let anybody in or out of the country for
yeah,
2 years or whatever it was. So yeah, so we just about made it, and all our belongings just about made it as well. So
yeah. No, it was amazing. I remember it all very well. And it doesn't seem like that. It's just gone. Those 4 years have just gone so quickly.
yeah, yeah.
So how long have you been trading?
Uh, the first time I sort of became aware of Forex trading, I'd say, was probably
Hmm.
2015. But
Yeah.
then went around and tried a few things, but really
Hmm.
properly in a structured way, I'd say since October 2019. Yeah.
Right. So just coming, 4.5 years nearly now.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the reason that you started trading?
I'd been in the construction industry as an
Hmm.
engineer, on the building services, pipes and wires type of thing for a while, and
Hmm.
just wanted to see that there was another way of earning a
Hmm.
living and not just working for a company. And I thought about
Hmm.
freelancing and consultancy work, and there's got to be a different way of being a bit more in control. So I went
Hmm.
to, yeah, I was looking for something. Yeah, I was looking for something. Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose that's leading into the next question, which is, what were you looking for?
I I think at the time I was just getting a bit fed up with all of the people that you had to deal with in the industry, and
Yeah.
just you're working in an industry where timescales are tight, um,
Hmm.
profit margins are tight. There's pressure from all those angles, and you
Hmm.
just sort of get a bit fed up after a while, and you think, I want to take myself out of this. Is there something that I can do that I can be in
Hmm.
control of and go at my own pace? And yeah, so I was looking for an out. from that, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you kind of get to that point where you almost feel you're on a hamster wheel, don't you? You just feel
Yeah,
there's no
that's
end
it.
to it.
Yeah,
Mm. So what did you know about trading in the beginning?
I didn't even know about trading at all. I wasn't really aware of trading. I went to one of these weekend seminar things that a lot of you will be aware of, where it's all set
Mm,
up in a hotel somewhere, and in the big function room there'll be all these different speakers,
mm,
and they've
mm.
got all of their people ready to sign you up for their course, whatever it may be. And Forex trading was part of that overall weekend. And I just
Yeah.
saw it for the first time, really, and saw the candles, and it seemed like there was a process that I could sort of try and start wrapping my
Hmm.
head
Hmm.
around, and thought, okay, this is interesting, and it got me interested. Yeah, it didn't
Mm,
involve
mm.
people as well. It didn't involve other people. It just seems to be it was you and the charts, and I didn't have to go out and sell to people. I didn't have to,
Yeah.
have, you
Yeah.
know, try and put on a happy face and smile and
Mm.
and 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 win people over or any of that. It was I was looking for and I suppose in the extreme way, a non-people related way of earning money,
Yeah.
just for a
Yeah,
break, I reckon.
yeah, yeah, I can imagine. So what mistakes did you make that others could avoid?
I thought I'd done my due diligence when I gave an educator a decent chunk of money, and then
Hmm.
I started to see how they try and put layers on for more money, and I started to think, hold on a minute, maybe this isn't the way to go. But yeah, I would I would look deep. I would look deep at what you're planning to do and who you're planning to give your money to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's so true. And I think if you ask most traders, that is probably one of the things they would say. And that leads into the next question. What, if anything, would you have done differently?
See, it's hard, isn't it? Because I get quite philosophical about things like this. Obviously, I would like to have not spent some of the money that I did, but you
Mm,
know, it's only by going through the experiences that you've had that you end up where you are. So, um,
yeah.
it's a difficult one for me. I suppose if I would have stumbled across the people who I work with now earlier, um,
Hmm.
I would be more happy, but I just didn't come across them. Yeah, so I went a different way.
Mm.
So yeah, and just remind me, what was the question? What would I have done differently?
Yeah, what would you have done
Um,
differently?
it's hard. I think I
Mm.
am where I am because of where I've been, so I don't think I would have done it differently, mate.
Yeah, no, and I think you've answered it really well and really honestly, because this is the thing, isn't it? Sometimes we need, like I talk to people about sales, I always say I learned how not to sell, then I learned how to sell. And then that
Yeah.
just forces you, makes you stronger when you get to where you want to be. So I understand what you mean. So how
Okay.
do you fit trading around your current work?
I get up early.
Hmm.
So I'm a 5 o'clock in the morning person, and I get a
Hmm.
few hours in the morning before I leave the house, and
Hmm.
then I've got an understanding wife, and the girls they're understanding, they're
Hmm.
older now, so they can see what I'm doing, and and I managed to get the regular time slots
Hmm.
in the morning and in the evening, depending on what I'm doing, and depending on
Mm.
the family arrangements or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've got slots allocated in the evening when everybody knows what I'm doing. So
Yeah, that's good. That's great. I mean, and I think that's the other thing as well, is to anybody, is to be really honest with the family and get your family on side with support. And I mean, I think you more or less answered the next question, is, and how do you fit trading around your private life?
I run a tight routine. Um,
Mm,
yeah, I've just got everything scheduled out, mate, and it's up to
yeah,
me to stick to the schedule.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, how important is that routine to you?
it's easy. Like you might hear in my voice, I've been a little bit ill for the last 2 days, but during this
Mm-hmm.
week, the routine has had to change. So I haven't been doing some of the exercise things that I normally do, and
Mm-hmm.
you feel like your routine's dropping off a little bit, um,
Yeah.
and you're just keen to get well to get back to it because you know you've got a structure,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know that, and you know I can see the benefit of having that routine and that structure because
Mm-hmm.
um of where I've started to see results.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. And I know you're going to be covering a lot of this in the coming weeks, and I will be also. So what keeps you turning up every single day?
Ah, right. So like I've got a vision. Yeah, got a
Hmm.
vision and maybe I'll share that with you one day, but you know,
Yeah.
and I can not share it with you, but I mean share it with everyone. But
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, I've got a plan, I've got a vision,
Hmm.
and it's just continuous progression towards a worthy goal.
Hmm. Marvelous. Absolutely brilliant. And where are you on your trading journey now?
So I've just completed a full documented year, although I'd had
Hmm.
live trading in the previous 6 months to that full year. I've
Hmm.
now got a documented full trading year of live
Hmm.
results, live trading results, and I was well, as you know, I was buoyed with the results that I
Mm.
saw over the year,
Yeah.
and I'm just looking forward to sort of building on that now, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, to all the people tuning in, I mean, yeah, Stephen had an awesome year, and he just kept plugging away, so well done. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that, from our mentors, that were also very complimentary of your work. So well done. So how important are things around trading, like the psychology? We've also touched a little bit on the routines. How important are all those things to you?
Ever more so, I would say, because
Mm,
just and recognizing your own mindset at various
mm,
times and being able just having the awareness
yeah.
of sometimes it's almost like you're just sitting outside of yourself watching what you're
Hmm.
doing and just
Yeah.
sort of quizzing yourself a little bit about what you're
Hmm.
doing and not trying to be as
Mm,
just purely emotionally driven. I mean, emotions are part of the thing. Like
yeah.
you can't divorce yourself from your emotions and become a
Absolutely.
robot. But the those are the things that sit to the side, like the psychology and that. I mean, I've started getting really interested in all of that, and
Mm.
there are great books out there, and you know, and some of the guys we speak to, they're always talking about different book titles and ways you can try and educate yourself a little bit more on that side of things.
Yeah. No, as you say, it's really, really important psychology. So, do you see an end game for your trading?
Yeah, um, I do, and it is the sort of the full transition that I'm looking for from working in a job. I don't call where I go to every day work because what we're doing here now and the trading, that's my work. The other thing,
Mm.
I try and it's a job. It's a job.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy going there. I enjoy working with the people. I enjoy the challenge and the technical side of the role that I have with the people who employ me. But
Hmm.
I want to keep it as a job, and this is plan A.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've got the end game is getting away from that, which will or transition and be like slowly taking a couple of days off of that to give to
Hmm.
this and seeing
Hmm.
then if I can like start building and you know
Hmm.
ramping up the
Yeah, you've kind of answered the next question really in there as well about that transition. So really the plan is that you, I suppose it's lucky as well, and I can relate to it as well. We both enjoy the jobs that we do, and
yeah
um, and we are lucky because there's so many people that don't enjoy the jobs that they do, and we are lucky we enjoy it. And so really, it's to try and build that bit of a transition, maybe even for me also a couple of years, 3 years, maybe part time still
Yeah.
have a nice balance of each, you know?
Yeah.
So if you could give people starting out as a trader some advice, what would it be?
I made a couple of notes there. I said, beware of giving away your money too easily.
Mm.
Don't always believe the hype. It's it, it's easy to be convinced by people who are convincing, and just be aware and don't just take it at face value. Try and do a bit of a deep dive into other forums or
Mm.
search for reviews or what are people saying about their experiences with different educators and do a bit of
Mm,
research
mm,
there.
mm.
What would I say? Yeah, try and find out realistically and get your expectations sort of worked out because at first, you do think you're going to make a lot of money overnight. So yeah,
Yeah,
do research, find out what's going on.
brilliant. How is your trading going now, Stephen?
So I've just posted, I say posted because I produce like a financial report. As you know,
Hmm.
I've decided that I want to formally report on how my
Hmm.
live trading's going so that when I
Hmm.
start having to speak with people, potential investors, or if somebody wants me to help them with their money, I've got a published document almost, that shows the performance
Yeah.
of the strategy. So I just completed that whole um, live trading year of results. And that went well, as you know, so it's got a decent equity curve on it. And there's a few things that I
Hmm.
need to work on, but that's all part of what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, for the rest of this year.
Brilliant. Sounds fantastic. And the final question, what are you actually working on right now?
So sticking with the strategy that I've been using, I want to add another couple of pairs to that
Hmm.
strategy, and that means I want to put different pairs through the back testing process and see which ones align with the strategy, and then I could add them to the portfolio for
Yeah.
and bring them online later this year. I'm also I've working on um, my understanding and knowledge of another advanced pattern that I can add
Hmm.
into the back testing process for the rest of the year,
Hmm.
and then bring that as a tool into the trading as well.
Fantastic. Sounds really, really interesting. Looking forward to seeing that journey and it being shared with all of our viewers. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay, everybody, thanks for tuning in. As we always say, please subscribe, please like all our videos, and please leave some comments. So it's going to be good night from me, Stephen.
And it's going to be have a great rest of your Saturday from me. I'm not quite
Yeah,
sure
I think that's
which
probably
way round.
about right. Yeah, it's something along those lines.
Yeah.
So everybody, so look, please, as we always say, please be part of that 10% that 100% trades your trading plan. Until next time,
See ya.
everybody stay well and see you again.
See ya.